Hi everyone, I'm Akshay, and today I'm going to talk about communication management. You would have definitely come across organizations that stress the importance of good communication management. Once good communication is achieved, the organization is one step closer to achieving its overall business objectives. But what actually is communication management? Basically, it refers to a systematic plan which implements and monitors the channels and contents of communication. And you know what? 90% of a project manager's job is communication. So you can see communication management is very important in an organization. To become a good manager, one must have a contingency approach at hand when it comes to communicating with employees. Effective communication management is considered to be a lifeline for many projects that an organization undertake as well as any department of the organization. We all know that there are two types of communication: informal communication and formal communication, and both are used in an organization. So, communication flowing through formal channels are downward, horizontal, and upward, whereas communication through informal channels are generally termed as grapevine. Now, let me explain what formal communication is. It is the flow of official information through proper, predefined channels and routes. The flow of information is controlled and needs deliberate effort to be properly communicated. Formal communication follows a hierarchical structure and chain of command. The structure is typically top to down from leader in various departments and senior staff in an organization, which funnel down to lower level employees. Now, what is informal communication? Informal communication, generally associated with interpersonal, horizontal communication, was primarily seen as a potential hindrance to effective organizational performance. But this is no longer the case. Informal communication has become more important to ensuring the effective conduct of work in modern organizations. When assessing communication needs, it's important to remember that feedback from employees and customer is invaluable if a company really wants to improve and maintain healthy growth. This is often referred to as an open communication model. A company should focus on the easiest way for an audience to give feedback and then create ways for that to happen efficiently. And with the vast array of communication methods available in this digital age, communication management experts must seize on shifting innovations and adapt quickly to ensure that they are reaching their audiences. Now, for good communication management, all communication should follow the 5 W's of communication. But what are the 5 W's of communication? The 5 W's of communication management are: first, what information is essential for the project? Second, who requires information and what type of information is needed? Third, what is the duration of time required for the information? Fourth, what type or format of information is required? And fifth, who are the person who will be responsible for transmitting the collated information? The 5 W's in communication management are only the guidelines. Therefore, you do not need to take other considerations into account, such as cost and access to information. Now, let's look at the process of communication. The main objective of communication management is to ensure smooth flow of information from either between two people or a group. Let us examine the communication process with the use of a diagram. And you can see the communication process consists of three main divisions. Sender transmits a message via a channel to the receiver. As per the diagram, the sender first develops an idea, which then can be processed as a message. This message is transmitted to the receiver. The receiver has to interpret the message to understand its meaning. And when it comes to the interpretation, the context of the message should be used for deriving the meaning. Furthermore, for this communication process model, you will also utilize encoding and decoding. Now, encoding refers to developing a message and decoding refers to interpreting or understanding the message. You will also notice the feedback factor, which the sender and receiver both involve. Feedback is crucial for any communication process to be successful. Feedback allows immediate managers to supervise or analyze how well subordinate understood the information provided to them. And talking about feedback, you can comment down below your feedback of this video. Apart from that, Understanding the communication process alone will not guarantee success for managers or an organization. Managers need to be aware of the methods used in the communication process. The standard method of communication that are widely used by managers and organizations across the world are either written or oral methods. Apart from these two mechanisms, nonverbal communication is another prominent method used to assess communication within the organization. Now, nonverbal communication refers to the use of body language as a method of communication. This method will include gestures, actions, physical appearance, as well as facial appearance and attitude. Although most of these methods are still in use for a larger part of the organization, the usage of email and other electronical mediums as a method of communication has lessened the need for face to face communication. This sometimes leads to a situation where both parties involved do not trust or feel comfortable with each other, and also the messages can easily be misinterpreted. Now, let's learn about active listening. This is one of the most important part of communication. This is where the person who receives the message pays attention to the information, interprets it, and then remembers it. As you would be aware, listening helps you to pay attention, but while listening, you should always make eye contact with the relevant party. For example, imagine talking to a person and that particular person does not make eye contact with you. This type of situation creates a lack of trust and honesty in the conversation. Make sure to clarify questions if you're not clear. For example, to become an active listener, you should ask questions to be more clear about the conversation, and simultaneously, you can grab more information. Avoid using gestures which are distracting or uncomfortable. Being attentive while listening is one of the most important factors, and to be more active listener, you should avoid everything which distract the parties from having an efficient conversation. And this is it. I hope you are an active listener and got an idea of what communication management is. Thank you for watching.